Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
To celebrate International Women's Day, I'm going to ask my mother, Linda Kalb, 8 questions on March 8th. Question 1. Growing up in the 1970s, did you have any female main characters from books, film, or television to which you looked up, such as Velma Dinkley or Princess Leia?
I guess Princess Leia, but most of my heroines were from books, like Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, or Jane Eyre and Jane Eyre.
Question 2. Do you want every movie and TV show you watch to have equal screen time for female and male characters, or are there other ways one can focus more on one gender than the other without being inherently sexist?
Well, I don't think every show has to originally be half and half, but if like the general run of, if the media in general is roughly half and half, that would be good enough.
Oh, okay. You're good at me too. Question 3. There may not be one right way to represent female main characters, and people writing characters for different genders is easier to do than writing characters for different races. But what sort of insight do you think writers could have writing for characters of the same gender as them that a writer of the opposite gender would not have?
Well, they have the lived experience of being that gender, right? Of being treated as that gender. I think, women know what it's like to be women, and men don't, right? There's things they would know that would, and things that they would write that would ring true, and other women would recognize, and that a man just wouldn't know. I think it's important to have diversity of writers, gender and, race and ethnicity, because you can't possibly know what it's like if you haven't lived it, Like you can know women are discriminated against, people of color are discriminated against, but you don't really know it. You haven't lived it. You can't write as authentically about it if you haven't lived it. And I know a good writer uses their imagination, but I think we need a diversity of backgrounds from writers in order to get a greater wealth of media and literature from them. Does that make sense?
Yes. 4. Do you want Winnie the Pooh and the Smurfs to have the power to offend female audiences with the Smurfette principle just because Ken and Smurfette are the only prominent female characters they have most of the time? Who's going to say no?
No, this first annoys me. Yeah, there's only one female Smurf who's called Smurfette, but Winnie the Pooh doesn't. I think because it's got a kind of it has such a young sort of whimsy kind of sense of humor about it. This very it's before the boys and girls divide into separate all male and all female groups like they do during what's called latency. I don't know if it still is. It's from such a young, non-gender sense of humor. It doesn't really bother me. It's just maybe it should, but it doesn't for whatever reason. Yeah.
5. Even if Stephen Hillenburg did not do it on purpose, do you find anything sexist about Sandy and Pearl, the most appealing female characters in SpongeBob SquarePants, being mammals and not sea creatures like the other main characters, and Spike being a dragon unlike the other 6 main characters of Friendship's Magic?
Yeah, well, it does seem to imply a greater difference between the genders. So different that they're different species, or any different class. Yeah, that's kind of, that probably wasn't like deliberate, but subconscious maybe. Just to put a greater sort of wall of difference between them. They're so different. They're different species, a group of species. I mean, mammals aren't even, they're air breathing. They're not water breathing. They can't spend a long time at the bottom of the sea, right? Without air. Pearl has to go up to the surface all the time, right? And Sandy Cheeks has to live in an air dome, right? It makes a greater separation between the genders, So it's I guess it was subconscious, but it's there, you know.
Well, I know Steven Hillenburg created Sandy with no intentions of having her be a romantic interest for SpongeBob.
Yeah, I believe that.
But Tim Hill wanted to do that, but Steven Hillenburg said no.
Well, good for him.
Maybe that's why in season 10 and 11 he gave Cyrena, Irwin, and Jill Talley their own new regularly appearing female sea creatures to characters to voice. Lady Upturn the 333rd, who debuted in Krusty Catering, and Squidina Star, who debuted in Goons on the Moon.
Cool. That's great.
And with the Patrick Star with Squidina becoming a main character in the Patrick Star Show, Jill Talley really has, after 20 years of voicing Karen, Jill Talley now has a shot at, with another new main character to voice who could be just as charming and adorable and memorable and iconic as her husband's main character of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, you mean Squidina?
That's right.
Yeah, she's a good character.
Well, how do you know she's not the same as Sandy and Patrick's not the same as SpongeBob, character-wise?
Oh, she doesn't seem the same. I mean, she's like, she seems intelligent. She's her own person. She has her own ideas. She seems to be, managing Patrick. She's definitely doing more for Patrick than SpongeBob does. It's just, she's a different character. Distinctly different.
Well, seeing as the first of Squidina's 2 appearances in the original SpongeBob SquarePants didn't have Patrick in it because it focused on SpongeBob, Sandy, and Pearl, I still think there's a great on Jill Talley's behalf. There is a pretty good chance I could convince the current writers of SpongeBob SquarePants that to include Squidina in further plot lines in the original SpongeBob series, because then she'd have a greater because there is still a lot of good opportunities for her to interact with other main SpongeBob characters who aren't Patrick in the original SpongeBob series.
Oh, cool. That'd be good.
Seasons.
Sure.
Okay, now question 6. Why do you wish Candace, Flynn, and Rainbow Dash were your friend when listening to them telling you how they feel usually just means doing what they want all the time? I know Candace was in Mr. Mojo's list of 10 cartoon friends, but not yours.
Well, they're likable characters. I like them. I mean, being independent doesn't mean not caring about your friends. Like Rainbow Dash, she's, I think, pretty independent, strong-minded, but isn't her primary thing loyalty? She's a very loyal friend, right? I mean, even with Rarity, who they had an episode together where, you think they don't have much in common, like, are they really friends, like, with each other? And no, they found a lot of common ground, and they were able to, be good friends and work well together. I think, Candace has, she has some good friends, right? I mean, it may look that way, but they haven't gotten to the point where, no, they're too self-centered to have friends, right?
Yeah, I know Becca from Close Enough, the House Got Some Help, she was too self-centered to have friends, and that's why Emily didn't like her.
Yeah, well, this is her character. Candace and Rainbow Dash, they're fun. I like them. They're all right. They make good friends.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I think so too. No, he's perfect. Question 7. How do you think a female lead character who is a mom can be entertaining to watch on their own with value beyond being a mom, like Sarah Connor from The Terminator and Annie Harris from Duncanville?
Well, every mom has a life outside of being a mom, right?
Right.
With Sarah Connor, she's not just raising her son, she's trying to save the world, save the future, right?
And Annie Harris?
I haven't seen Duncanville. Have I?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen Duncanville, but she's like other moms. She has a whole life outside of being a mom, right? She probably has a career.
I've seen
other stuff she's doing.
Well, I've seen Duncanville, and she's a pretty entertaining character to watch. She's voiced by Amy Poehler, who created the show and also created the Mighty Bee.
Oh, well, Amy Poehler, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than being a mom.
Many people who watch the Mighty Bee as kids will probably also enjoy watching Duncanville. A lot of people enjoy watching Duncanville as young adults, like if they're my age.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry I haven't seen Duncanville. Amy Poehler, she does good work. I'd like to check it out. And given that Amy Poehler's on it, there's got to be way more to it than being a mom.
And she also voices the son in the title, Duncan Harris.
Yeah, Amy Poehler has
There's a really good job of sounding like a boy.
huge career outside of being a mom. I'm sure she's got plenty for her character to do besides being a mom.
Okay, this is the last and most important question. Question 8. What is your stance on Millie from Free Guy as a strong female character?
Oh, I like her. She's a good character, like, regardless of gender. Like, when, someone's, like, not a good character when the whole point of the character is their gender, and that's not the case with her. She'd be a good character whether she was a guy or a girl. She's got important stuff she's doing. She wants to, she had her work stolen. Happens to a lot of artists, both male and female. She wants to, get her work back, get her vision, restored, of the kind of video game she wanted to make. And, she's not like the power behind the throne or anything. She was equal partners with her
With Walter?
Yeah, with Walter, with the other coder. And, she's a good character to stand on her own and also to be, to work well with others, to be, she's a partner in crime. She's, developer with Walter. She also went out on her own to try to fix things. There's, interacting with various people in the game and outside the game. No, I think she's a good character. It's not all about the genders. It's probably what we would call like post-feminism,
Well, yeah.
In a good way.
Well, yeah, and as far as female computer coders go, Millie succeeds at being everything good that Jailbreak from the motion movie wasn't.
Yeah, she's a much better character than Jailbreak. Much more three-dimensional, not just made according to a formula,
Yeah.
not trying to be cool. Just was who she was.
Okay. Well, this has been International Women's Day with Adam Kalb and my home mummy, Linda Kalb.
Home mummy? I mean, you're always, every time, everywhere, mom.
Yeah, but I just mean, as opposed to the school mommy, the person who teaches you, who's the person who teaches me at school.
Right, yeah. Okay, thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Tom Kenny has SpongeBob SquarePants and Jill Talley has Squeaking the Star.
Yes. Yes, I remember now.